All right, story time. So, of course, I went shopping and the chicks are swirling around me, of course, making themselves known, but not saying anything. Blase, blase, blase. Boring. The same thing day after day after day. None of them have any substance at all. Like, I'm in the dollar store. Well, I'm going to skip Publix. I'm going to skip the whole Publix thing. Literally hearing sandals behind me as I'm walking. Clickety clackety clickety clack, and as soon as I turn around, I see butterfly eyelashes and hair weave. I'm like, yeah, you were not about to eat stuffed cheese mushrooms today. I'm sitting in the vegetable aisle, really in the corner in my cell phone. You really was trying to get some vegetables. Better yet, mushrooms, stuffed mushrooms. Yeah, come on now. Then we have to wait around. It's so funny because it's like these are the places that they try to, women cook, they shop and things like that. So it's like, okay, then I'm like, I want crabs today. But I have to wait for the people in the back to serve up the crabs, bag them and all that. So that makes it even worse. Some of the highest class women and some of the lowest of low try to get my attention, and I don't want it to be this reoccurring theme or thought process like I'm avoiding women. It's just I tried cold approaching a woman 2 weeks ago, something that I haven't done in years. Grown ass 27-year-old woman, well 28, because when I spoke to her she said she was leaving the state to go to a Ninja Warrior tournament for her birthday. Go figure. You so outgoing, but you don't even know how to hold a conversation. Now she could have been disinterested or not attracted to me, but this is a gym. This is a girl that works at a gym that I've been going to for a year and a half. And again, she goes out of her way to come to every machine that I'm working at and bend over in her tights and, make eye contact and all these other things. And when I finally approach her, and I didn't just say, oh, I like your ass, or let me get your number, or you on social media. She couldn't even hold a conversation. I was disinterested in 2 minutes. But that's just the way of the world. Women, they don't know what real power is. You give them the presidency, you give them the keys to the castle, give them all the decisions and all the options and make them do everything, and they'll crumble under the pressure. That is the way of the feminine, and that's why the masculine is there. Sort of a protector. Some Japanese cultures have the right idea, the Yojimbo, Mother Earth or Gaia, the place that everything is birthed from. There's certain portals here on the earth plane. And the male protector or destroyer, however you want to put it. Again, people think Batman is the bad guy when really if Batman's kicking your ass, of course you're going to think he's the bad guy. If I'm kicking your ass, you're going to think I'm the bad guy. So it's all a matter of perspective. I don't even know why I still have this mask on. The culture that we've cultivated in just that short amount of time. It takes 21 days for the human mind to associate a habit, not change itself, but to associate a habit, to start to reconfigure those changes. 777. But yeah, interesting things happen today. So I leave the store. I'm like, I don't even want to wait around. I usually get a sub, but for whatever reason today, the sub line was packed, so I ended up getting cold chicken tenders. Having to eat meat, and wanted to grab some fruit, but I felt awkward again, oogling and noodling me down. Like, give them a taste of their own medicine. Turn them into a Medusa sometimes. They already can't talk. Watch them stumble around a halfway decent looking man. Yeah, I was on my way to and Chase too. I gotta make a video about Chase as well. I gotta make a video about all these places. This is the real reason why I got on this thing. Not about women staring me down in the dollar store as I'm trying to buy shampoo. None of y'all ain't coming here to try to do nothing natural with y'all have. Why y'all trying to follow me into, oh, y'all want to be my friend now after y'all see me walking around in the store? And yeah, they ain't gonna stop nothing, because you ain't gonna say nothing. You ain't gonna stop me. Say something. Talk to me nice. Educate me. Teach me something. Impossible. So I leave the dollar store. I go to Chase. Why do they have bank tellers at Chase? Even the bank teller was trying to, I mean, that's their job, but she went out of her way to dismiss other people to come and help me. I'm like, they must be in a dismissive mood today. That's what it must be. Chase don't like business. Went to try and open up an additional business checking account today, and all of a sudden, it's 12 in the freaking afternoon. It's broad daylight. And no one here can help me. It's awful customer service. Awful customer service, Chase. I'm definitely going with another banking system. I'll keep y'all on the back burner, but listen. I keep sending these mailers about business checkings accounts and y'all new promotions and this and that, and then I come into the store. It says, present this to the bank teller when you go into the location. I know y'all can get sued for stuff like that, right? That's false advertisement. See, a person like me, a real master, look into the writing and the paperwork. You're gonna say, come into the store, present this to the bank teller, and then they turn you around and tell you to go back home, which I could have did that anyways. I could have been had this thing opened up earlier this week, but I did something intentional. I put money in a bank account and let it sit for over 48, 72 hours. Then go into the branch and get some help. Or I felt like getting out today. I don't understand these people. So yeah, did that. Then I went into Antonio's, a restaurant called Antonio's. They serve pizza. Packed pizza place, of course. Place I used to always take my family and get their nice New York style pizza. Actually got a slice. And the place was full of cops. Well, not full of cops. It was a table full of cops. And I walked in, and it was pretty that atmosphere that you always get, for whatever reason. But I'm dressed a little bit different today. I kind of have a little bit of a different spirit about me, so I don't look like any old type of fellow. So I guess they were minding their manners and stayed seated. And it was I ordered my stuff and was pretty much on my way out. I'm pretty sure I got irate by the police. Half of them are gay, but no problem with gay people. It's just certain professions and certain things you have to possess certain qualities. Like you can't be a basketball player and you don't know how to dribble. Same thing with being a cop. That's a masculine trait. And not to say women can't be cops. Be a woman cop. Don't be a gay man cop. Like you roughing up dudes out there. You got your foot in people's necks. You got people in back. You got people in rear naked chokeholds. It's like a gangbang. Like really? It's a porno every other day. These cops out here gangbanging some dude. And these chicks out here recording the whole thing and screaming and yelling the whole time. This odd matrix reality that we living in. But no, the cops were actually pretty decent. To be honest with you, they wasn't on no BS. It's hot down here, so they just chilling, man. They relaxing. I have faith in some of them. Not all of them are bad apples. Just like they probably saw me and was like, he's not a bad apple. We don't have to strangle this nigga today. Yeah, walk right in, shining just like this, I walked into the bank with, my shirt buttoned up, had to do business. But other than that, once business was done, business does not take a long time to complete. One of the compliments or one of the things that people always said about me or could never figure out about me is why I make my job look so easy, or how I make my job look so simple, or why I always look like I'm not working. Well, Lucifer should be comfortable in his own domain, right? He was cast down to the earth realm. Libra, light bringer. I'm very comfortable with myself. I'm very comfortable with my aptitude and my intelligence. I'm not overconfident. I know I'm going to keep growing, and I want to keep growing. That's why I say I learn something new every day. People hang on to one thing you say, but it's the whole paragraph. People always want to pick at something that you say. But, I ordered my pizza. good to go. It was about a 10-minute wait, so I figured right around the corner was a Walgreens. I needed to buy some suntan lotion because my skin is reacting to the sunlight, I guess. Another reason why I stopped taking a lot of these medications, they tend to deteriorate your skin, stay out of the sun and things like that. So another reason why going herbal and protecting my skin and things like that, the longevity of it, staying moisturized. So I went into the Walgreens to try to grab, some additional shampoo and maybe some lotions for myself, some facial scrubs. And for the most part, these CVS workers, I don't know if they tried to stop me. They usually do, but I didn't hear them this time. And I'm walking around the store looking at the arts and crafts and things like that. Even thought about going to the birth control aisle. For what? But I ended up in the perfume and the cologne aisle. It's time to start upgrading the fragrances, upgrading the style, upgrading the fashion. I've always been keen on, like, a lot of things that I did in my relationship for whatever reason. It's like, before I started my whole 7-8 year relationship, it was like I changed a lot. Like a lot of things that I did outside or before I met her, I stopped doing, like going to the beach and wearing cologne and all that type of stuff. But it's like it's adjusting to people's morals and their aspirations. But it's like I try to say, or someone enlightened me, a classmate of mine who's traveled the world. He said, if you have to change to marry somebody, or if you have to marry somebody to change them, then you shouldn't be getting married. And people often forget that, people are not educated in the fashion to realize or to remember that, it's about generational wealth, and love is important. You have love with your family and you build a business with your family, but marriage is about business. And, cultures integrating with each other and things like that. But yeah, and that's why every single day and every time I come out, I always talk about relationships, because that's what's on people's minds most of the time, or money. And that is the push and pull. That is the tug of war. Those are the two most important currencies that the human mind perceives right now, instead of their actual likenesses, their bodies, the human capital, the human spirit, your muscles. You can have all these materials around you, but what you perceive is what you perceive. They could have had internet a million years ago. They had all the same resources that we're using today to create all these modern inventions, but no one back then had the knowledge or the mind state or had the mental freedom to think up all these genius ideas. Why don't we take a group of men, or why don't we take a group of women, or we don't even have to separate them. Let's take a bunch of people from all different cultures, because it's a collective effort, and put all of them on a deserted island, lush with greenery and farm and all this stuff. You see how long it takes them to build the internet. But indeed, man, it's come a long way. There's levels to it. It's class systems, the titles and the labels. They are valid, even though I have my problem with them. People fear what they don't know. People fear the darkness, so they always have to categorize something so that their simple minds can understand that there's more out there than just the void, for the most part. Matter is all around you. You can stand in, like, matter is in front of you right now. You just can't see it. It does not have enough substance, just like the air in your lungs. But again, if someone knocks the air out of your lungs, you would definitely notice. It would affect your chi. It would affect your life essence, because stopping your breathing is sort of like a death process. But there's a whole lot of ranting for me today. Should I keep going? I'm sweating a little bit, man. This is hard work. It is hard work. The work that I make light of it, but the work that people are not willing to do, you know. I used public transportation or whatever you want to call it, Uber or Lyft, to, you know, get to where I wanted to be a few hours ago because I didn't want to be sweating. And now I'm doing my due diligence by taking. It's a white dog. I forgot to show y'all the water. And I lost my train of thought. But the due diligence of, you know, just figuring things out. We are all bothered by something. That's discomfort. That's the shadow work that has to be done. It's you doing your part. So many different things happen in this world. But to continue with these stories. So finally, after I finished browsing through the colognes and the perfumes, I didn't really see any perfumes, but the colognes, they were all cheap knockoffs of famous Victoria's Secret brands and all Calvin Klein and all these other things. But, you know, they sell it at the Walgreens knockdown price. It's a solid investment if you want to go from wearing Axe deodorant spray or a freaking dollar store, I don't know what that is, toilet water, what they call it, toilet. Let me stop playing. But yeah, solid investment. So you know, they eyed me down while my back was turned. My third eye sensed it, and I could see them at the side of my peripheral. Everyone with a white shirt walking up and down the aisles, looking at me like I was about to get ready to stuff something in my bag. And then I wasn't gonna buy nothing, but just to prove them wrong, and knowing that I do need to upgrade my cologne right now, especially if I'm gonna be doing some traveling. Gotta have that rich man smell on me, right? Let me stop. And I go to the front, and I'm attempting to pay, and it's funny because they was watching me this whole time, but as soon as I walked to the front of the store to pay for my item, they all walked from behind the register and went back into their camera rooms. Like no one wanted to help me. Even the guy that was in the store that they trying to sell internet cable sat down. And I was just like, wow, like I'm assuming they thought I was gonna steal this. They must have definitely turned their cameras on at that time or something like that and tried to watch me. And then when they realized I was going to the front to pay for my item, they didn't want to be treated any kind of way or anything like that, or felt like they was like making me seem like some type of suspect. So let's go turn off our cameras. You know, we only have a limited amount of data. But you just lost a sale because I'm about to get ready to walk out of y'all store. So this is how you guys treat your people, CVS. Might have to boycott CVS. This power structure is all messed up, man. All messed up. But anyway, I goes back to Antonio's, the pizza restaurant, to pick up my slice. The police are all still sitting there, maxing and relaxing. Started having side conversations. Wasn't too really distracted by them. You know, they stay in their zone, I stay in my zone. I started taking pictures of the place, Antonio's. It was quite interesting. I always like to frequent places that share my name in common. He who is highly praised, highly worthy, kingly, godly. So, yeah, it was interesting, man. The crazy part is, I ended up, out of all the people in that restaurant that ordered all these big, major pizzas and multiple pizzas and slices, I ended up being the last one to walk out of the restaurant with my freaking slice of pizza that they had sitting at the top of the oven. So I don't know what type of games they were playing, or maybe they just forgot. We forgot. We have such an high IQ that we forgot. I halfway wanted to pay for the police officers' meal for this afternoon, their afternoon lunch. But they often have second thoughts about us, so I often have second thoughts about them. And as the world turns, the situation gets more and more intense. We reach a climax or a crescendo, a sort of orgasmic point. Again, much like the Woodstock days where people say enough is enough. And there's no more of biting the bullet. There's no more of biting the bullet. Can you swim? But hopefully you enjoyed my afternoon rant, my running of the tongues, my spitting of the ancient dialect, my role reversal of the apostolistic. Let me stop. Him and his adjectives and his word algorithms and verbs. He is too intelligent. I cannot hold a conversation with this fantastic man of many important endeavors. Quite possibly one of the most important things in humankind. The bringing together of many individuals that hold great power. He shares his name with the comic book character Anthony Stark. Let the Avengers assemble, yes. Let me stop this madness. Oh, I watched the first episode of Loki. You know what's the crazy part? Before I deactivated my Facebook, and this is happening. This is reoccurring messages, synchronicities, psychic visions, being able to see the future, and all types of stuff. Before I even seen the show, and I haven't even watched WandaVision and the full season of Captain America. Like, I was really on it last year when I was watching like Lovecraft and Watchmen and all that other stuff. But now it's like it's so much stuff. But yeah, so I watched the first episode of Loki, and I remember writing on Facebook a few weeks ago. I'm like, what if you died and you were forced to watch the entire episode of your life, or the entire story of your life played back? And that is what I saw. What was it that I watched it yesterday or the day before? Interesting stuff. Loki, the god of mischief. Yes, sir. We are all destined for greatness in one way or another. In one way or another. Remember the tale of Dante's Inferno? Whatever I do, and I have the greatest intentions to do good, spread love, youth, and positivity, create something wonderful, a legacy for my generation and a legacy for the world. If I so happen to fall into shadow, because I have a habit of diving deep into shadow and not doing the shadow work, but just in an unorthodox way, I hold on to the pain, and the healing doesn't really come that often as I should practice. But I believe and I hope and I wish to inspire my children and my grandchildren or even my descendants. Yeah, the story of Dante's Inferno. Use your great power, your great wisdom, and your great responsibility to affect the world and make the world into a better place, and do the shadow work and do the light work, and come down into the shadow realm and get old Antonio. Love you all. And Nancy, the storyteller, great storytellers in history, man. I'm practicing, I'm getting there. One day at a time, one story at a time. This is beautiful, man.